Ladies and gentlemen, here's the motherfucking tea.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the My Hero Stravaganza over here on 4-Star Bento and Stream 4-Star. I'm Lanny. Kaiser is currently trapped in the Shadow Realm right now. He's trying to break out, but he's just frozen there.
And he called me the hero Grant. My ability is to make things change size, but it doesn't work on living things, so don't get any funny ideas.
Yeah, don't get too excited about that. I'm going to readjust your camera because I have you slightly to the side. There we go. All right. But man, we had a hell of an episode. Like, these past two episodes, back to back, good stuff. And this one, different directions I did not expect it to go so quickly.
Yeah, I really like. What was great is like it started off like good. I was like, this is actually a fun team they're fighting. Like, this has got a good mix of powers here, and like our squad is definitely like we really need Deku, and then everyone else is sort of playing defense. But it was like, all right, I can dig this mix. I like this. Monoma's kind of being a villain. And then the episode's just like, by the way, that's not what this is about.
That is not what is happening right now. Just here you go. But yeah, man,
Something
Monoma
else is going on. Real important.
I do like that you get a real good taste for what Monoma's about. He's not necessarily, the guy that's going to go in there gung-ho and save everybody. He's going to get inside the opponent's head and make them question everything that they're doing. So, you can see... Also, I like that they
Mental warfare seems to be his game.
I like that they started adding those aspects into Vlad, too, their teacher, where you can see kind of where he's getting influenced to do more of this stuff, and how he's kind of teacher's little favorite almost in some situations.
He's got that energy. He's got the competitive power that he loves.
Yeah.
But that got crazy quick.
Yeah, he touched all the wrong buttons. And all of a sudden, Deku, who's been having issues, figuring out what's going on with his powers, all of a sudden they just start to erupt on him. And that whole thing that I kind of expected to happen with Todoroki versus Tets happened right there. It's like, I can't control this! Run!
Yeah, I like that. It's just like, it's not we're not playing anymore. Just go, run, get out of here. And then as soon as he sees Shinso, he's just like, Shinso, I can't control this. Just get away.
Yeah, definitely not where I expected all of that to go so quickly. But poking the Bakugo button just kind of did that. I think.
Well, and it was funny because I didn't quite catch that at first, but then as they were sort of talking and they eventually well, seeing him get angry about that was definitely part of it, but him needing to get talked to by something to snap him out of it by Shinso. I thought it was funny where they're like, Shinso, use your mind control, and he's like, well, what do I say to him?
I don't know, man.
I think he'll know what you're trying to do. He knows what your powers are and probably would be into whatever it is. You could probably just yell, "Let me mind control you," and he'd probably be like, "Okay."
Yeah, I loved that aspect of it, and to see it through the eyes of Shinso, who's he wants to be a hero and he's new at this, and now he's seeing something that is if Midoriya truly lost control and became a monster, there is a massive threat that only Eraserhead probably could have stopped at that moment. And holy shit,
I love his kind of jumping in with the well, I'm excited to fight you. That's what I want. I need you to see this other side of me. I need you to realize that I'm a rival too, man. Come on.
Yeah, coming out with the exact
way to pull him out.
Yeah, coming out with the exact right thing to say. I also love that while it looks like he's entirely out of control, the black whips, I think what they were called, are just kind of going to his will. Okay, I'm gonna pull you towards that thing. We want to get that guy. We're going to that guy. He's totally uncontrolled. I got big homages to early Jinchuriki Naruto, basically, where the tail beast is helping him do what he's doing. That fight with him and Sasuke, the first one, it was really what I was getting some symbolism of there.
Yeah,
where
it's kind of more feral and just really into it.
Yeah, it's going with his will, but it's really he has no control over it. But he does seem to have some subconscious control, because as Uraraka was jumping in to save him, none of those things were attacking her. So clearly, subconsciously, he has control over this power, but he just does not have absolute control. So, because when she jumped in, really cute scene. I loved the look into her character in that moment, where she's having those flashbacks of the hero saving the day, making everybody happy. That's why she wants to be a hero. And then seeing all the struggle, the heartache, and everything that all of her companions and all the people that she's worked with have gone through, and thinks, who makes the heroes happy when they're struggling? Who saves them from their sorrow?
Who heroes the hero man?
Mm-hmm. Who heroes the hero? Which, they keep painting her as ultimate wife. Just, ultimate support, ultimate wife,
Yeah.
the most loving of loving relationships. Just, made my heart melt a little.
Uraraka will be super cute, and there's nothing you can do about it.
You
It
can't
will be
stop
adorable
it.
and endearing, and you're just gonna have to live with it.
She's too pure, and you can't stop it.
But this knocks out Deku and kind of puts him into back into the shadow void, where he sees all the other pieces of One for All, and all of a sudden the one tough guy looking dude, I'm blanking on his name, but he kind of comes out and he's just like, hey, mother effer, you just used my power, you don't know how to do it yet, you did it wrong.
Hey, so basically you get the massive lore dump, a lore dump that we've been waiting for, which is basically, because we also cut to all for one at one point here too, where he's just sitting there like, oh, it's almost time, shit's moving around, and you're not going to be able to stop what comes next, ha ha ha, anyway, don't shoot me for now. So he's just kind of sitting in jail waiting for the moment which is about to come, as we are given an explanation that One for All is expanding and growing. There's some sort of influx point happening with this power, and it's revealed, hey, Midoriya, you're going to be the current vessel. You're going to be the one that actually masters this. And it seems like all of the powers that have attached itself to One for All are starting to manifest in you. You got mine first. Basically, these are whips that will lash to their opponents and will grab things and pull you towards them, pull them towards you. Get ready for a whole fun toolkit of other powers, so that you'll be figuring out as we go along. But hey, figure out this one first. Good luck, and hopefully you can get a mouth soon.
Check it out. Here's your roadmap to what your pinnacle of using this power is going to be, which is cool, because I definitely remember, I don't remember exactly who said it, but I know someone had mentioned the way One for All works is that it slowly builds over time with everyone who uses it, and everyone kind of puts in what they get out. And so I always thought it was weird that I'd assumed it had gone through people with powers and they were all talking about how it's stacked on each other.
Yeah.
But All Might just seemed to be super strong. So I was like, so was everyone just a strength hero and it's just a really, really strong? So now it seems like well, what it actually is it was waiting for the perfect vessel to be able to use all of the power it's been building, and it's just sort of a general booster is what the power was initially.
Either the perfect vessel or just a specific point in time where it manifested properly. Maybe if All Might had held on to it long enough, it would have done this to him too, who knows. But he was kind of already at the end of what he was able to do with it, and now Midoriya is slowly realizing, holy shit, there's a lot more to this than I initially thought. Because you're right, when they initially explained, it's just stacking all these powers on top of each other, I'm like, then where are the other powers? Did none of the other people have quirks at all? That seems improbable.
Seems very straightforward if that's all it's doing.
And now, yeah, they did, but you just did not, One for All was not in a state where it could manifest those things. You end up in this very interesting situation because, as All Might previously stated, when he inherited One for All, he was pretty much able to use all of his muscle strength right away. And granted, that might be because he was older than Midoriya when he inherited it. Maybe he was already physically jacked. But the fact that he was such a natural vessel for it, and then Midoriya, who was not necessarily fit for it, but grew into it and is continuing to grow with it, is now getting access to the deeper depths of this thing that nobody else really, knew was possible until I guess they got sucked into the collective consciousness of One for All. And again, they continue to paint this picture of, hey, now we can kill All Might without killing All Might. So whatever's about to happen, don't worry, he'll still be here.
I was a little confused because the Black Whip guy kind of shows up, and like I'm guessing he just meant like in that moment, but he does at some point say like, "Ooh, looks like my time's running out, so I gotta be quick about this. Here's how this works. Anyway, bye." So like I'm hoping it's not just like because now I'm fading into real death and I'm gone. I'm sure I'm just gonna be dwelling within now.
Yeah, I'm sure it has something to do with since One for All is currently like fluxing. I'm sure it's like there's some weird spirit mumbo jumbo going on there.
I can only do this for so long.
Yeah.
I can only hold this form for 5 minutes.
Look, I can only talk to you for this long because you're only that attuned. Once you get more attuned, you'll have more access to more of us, and you'll be able to talk for longer, something, etc.
You'll figure it out, I promise.
Yeah, man, that whole chunk of the episode was just all right, this is what I've been waiting for. I'm really happy that we got to see Bakugo kick some ass last episode. But man, like this is the stuff that I have been waiting to hear about, to learn about. Even if it is just kind of
it gives like a concrete goal. Like I feel like we've sort of like we've had arcs and stuff, but as far as like the overarching narrative has just sort of been Deku needs to get better, and it's not like there's no real specifics to it or any sort of like real direction. It's just sort of like he just needs to improve and kind of deal with the big things that are happening as they happen to him. But now this gives much more of a direct like here's how he needs to get better and here's what needs to happen for him to truly master this power that he's inherited.
Yeah, now you have to go on your avatar journey to figure out what all of these quirks are, and he's going to have this menagerie of awesome little support powers that are going to help him do what he does. But not only that, those powers can be amplified by One for All's power, which is why it went so absolutely apeshit out of control the first time this Black Whip power manifested.
Just kind of berserked.
Yeah. And man, the way he gets snapped out of it, first of all, Uraraka jumping on and just trying to snap him out of it, calm him down. That was adorable. And then Shinso coming up with the right thing to say, even though you're right. He probably could have said anything. Midoriya was literally looking for a way out of here. He could have just said, he literally could have just yelled, "Need some help?" And he would have just gone, "Yep."
Yes.
Please. And it was that trance that knocked him into being able to talk with the person who's whichever of the old vessels that power came from. I don't remember if he gave his name. Yeah,
I don't think he did. I think I saw someone in chat said they just referred to him as the fifth holder. I guess that's like the only thing we know about him. But then what I also liked is kind of immediately after that, without missing a beat, Monoma was like, "Hey, we're not done yet. Like this game's still happening. I'm glad everything's back under control, but let's go."
Yeah, we're still fighting here. We still got a match to go. What happened there was literally only
end.
Whatever happened there, that was 20 seconds of really spooky shit. But we got a match to win, and I'm not gonna lose this. We're not gonna lose to their class. Monoma being the perfect
everything's
dick
cool.
for this.
We can just fight now.
Yeah,
exactly. He was exactly what we needed to make sure this match kept going. Because I got to admit, I'd be a little disappointed if they were like, "Well, gee, that was sure scary. Let's cancel the match and everybody talk about our feelings real quick." Nice that just kind of got to keep going.
Yeah, which also leads back to the dichotomy between Aizawa and All Might. Because All Might, seeing that going on, he's like, "Oh, that's bad. Hey, we should go stop this." They run out there, and he's still sitting there that whole time, even after it looks sort of resolved, thinking, we should end this. And Aizawa being, more keen, more, he's having a test within himself right now. No. We need to see how this plays out, because I think he's on the verge of learning something very.
They're gonna have to deal with the stuff,
and he's on the verge of learning something very important about himself, and we now need to see what comes of this. I can stop this at any time if I have to, but I don't want to right now, or it will really derail everything that just happened. Whatever happened to stop that is something that's very important to Midoriya's growth. And that's something that I really like about the difference between the two men of influence that have really been giving Midoriya the, kind of like guiding him along to become a hero. You have Aizawa, who's very pragmatic, very practical, knows when to let them learn on their own, but also knows when to, provide the guiding hand and tell them to cut that shit out. Then you have All Might, who's very like, he cares very much about the well-being, like way more so about the well-being of Midoriya, because he feels so personally responsible for everything that's happening to him that when he sees this trouble happening, all he wants to do is jump in and help, when now he's this frail body that has no power to be able to do anything except offer advice now.
Well, and it's like a thing, it's not necessarily that Eraser is like, a worse hero, but it's like, this is almost like All Might's natural sense of, I need to help, like almost getting in the way of just where he's like, I need to shield you from this, I'm going to protect you from this. Whereas Aizawa, like you said, much more pragmatic and is a lot more like, these are the heroes of the future and they're gonna have to deal with this kind of stuff, and they're gonna like, at all points we should be ready to let them learn and grow from these experiences. Trying to cover for them and stop it like in the middle of it is just going to make that tougher when the real world comes a knocking, and doesn't stop when things get hard. Yeah,
and Aizawa also having been there when Midoriya fought Overhaul. Like he's seen what Deku can do in these life or death situations. He's seen him survive these things, like all the way back to when he was fighting Muscular. The first time he had to fight a villain all on his own, Muscular, who on reflection is literally just younger Toguro. Just that is his power. Just makes muscles and beats people to death with muscle.
Grossly muscular.
And so he's been in these life or death situations way more times than he should have been. But the fact that he's come through them, survived, there's a lot to that, where Aizawa trusts him to be like, look, clearly you're going to fight, but as long as I can keep an eye on you, I'm going to keep an eye on you. I don't know how you keep winning these unwinnable situations, but there's some bullshit going on, and there's more to it than I think I know.
He's the only one who seems to be able to detect the plot armor that Deku's got. He's just like, hold on, let's ride this out. I've got an idea.
See how this one plays out. I got a feeling. That crazy crap stopped. Let's see if it starts up again. We'll think about it. But
I was ready to flunk him that first day, and then he threw that ball like a champ by breaking his finger. And you know what? I've seen a lot of shit in my day. That was new.
He learned how to control his power enough to not destroy his whole arm. So, I'll give him a pass. Aizawa continuing to be the Kakashi that we need in this show. He's
very
great.
Much so.
Everything about this episode flowed very well. I can't think of much that I would change for it. I'm excited to see the actual match continue, though. I'm not sure where it's going.
Yeah, we kind of glossed over it. I really like the powers of the other crew. Like, it was fun to see them, like, how the non-Monoma and Shinso like trio, how it was like, I have telekinesis, I have the power to basically create a second impact on stuff, and I have the power to manipulate things size. You can only move so much with your power, so you shrink it. I'm gonna hit it before you send it flying, so we can rapidly change its direction. Really difficult to predictly, like, and just like really mess them up. I'm like, that was just a very cool team attack. That was like, immediately I understood how it was working, and it was just like, I had never seen any of these. I don't think these three characters had like ever been featured before, because I don't remember ever knowing their power or that they existed.
Not particularly.
So I just quickly understood who they were and what they did.
Like, we've seen a few of them before. I remember, like, dude with the, where he punches stuff tracker on his arm, like, popping up here and there, but I don't remember ever seeing his power. So, yeah, it's nice being able to see
I kind of remember
what they can do.
But I did not remember them ever showing what he did.
They're all going to be background characters, but, it's cool seeing the kind of powers that they come up with to synergize and actually make use of the situation. So I'm interested to see where this fight actually goes next episode, and if Midoriya can learn how to use the Black Whip easily, or if it's just going to be something that he has to learn after the match. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to figure out. I still really want to see Monoma try to use Midoriya's powers. I just want to see him explode.
Yeah, that's something that I kind of keep hoping happens. Speaking of Monoma, I like his design. He's got like those like little, I'm guessing they're like little stopwatches because he can only keep power for 5 minutes. So I'm assuming it's like
he
so
keeps
he can
track
keep like
of
an
them.
exact keeping an exact track of how these powers, but he can only use one power at a time. So I don't know if he needs to track multiple times or if it's just a cool design.
Like if he can tag in and out the powers, or if once he stops using one, that one's done, and it's just out of the rotation.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that works, and I hope they go a little bit more into it. But yeah, specifically, I really want to see what would happen if he tried to take Deku's power and just would it just not work? Because I feel like he's mentioned before that there are some quirks that it just doesn't work with.
Some of them, he mentioned that some of them can like just turn into it turns into a blank. Like I'm guessing if he tries to manifest the quirk of, let's say somebody
like
that was, like if he try. Like Froppy, or maybe if he tried to get like Tail Dude's tail, maybe he can't do that for 5 minutes. Things that are inherently like physically an attribute, maybe he can't. Or maybe they're like some powers that are just like a little too strong that he can't manifest. I don't know. It's interesting. I would love to see what is the divide between what is a blank and what actually works.
Yeah.
Because there's probably some science to it, other than the Deus Ex Machina of, no, that power is too strong. He can't have that.
Just if he had that one, it'd be too good. So no, it's like, or if it's something like, what if he tried to get Lemillion's power back when he had it? And it's just like this thing where he's like, no, I had to teach myself how to use this power, otherwise it would have killed me.
Yeah.
So don't do it.
Yeah, that's the real interesting part of his quirk is that, some of these people are so good with their quirks because they've trained their entire lives to master them. So he has to grab them and figure them out as quickly as possible, which is why All For One, I think he mentioned this very specifically because he can manifest multiple quirks at the same time. He always looks at people, grab, like, when he's taking a quirk, it's like, I think there was a line from him. Yeah, this quirk is interesting, but it's too complex for me to really use effectively. I'd like, he'd need to train too much to use it, which is why when he was fighting All Might, he would use all of these powers that are very, very simple. These things that are like, all of these augment powers, I can use those without problem. This one makes me grow. This one makes my arms springy. This one injects it with like metal and engines and shit.
This one shoots like little black tendrils that'll grab you and pull you in or lock you down.
Yeah, little powers that he doesn't need to put much mind space into in order to actually use, I think, is what he determines as a simple power. And I guess Monoma is very much similar in that regard, where, the simpler the quirk is, the better he'll be able to use it against whoever has it. So, yeah.
I thought it was really cool how he used the telekinesis thing when he like hopped on the little bolts or whatever and used it to like skate through the air. That was dope.
Yeah, just that. Okay, gotta get out of here now. Playing the head games though, that's definitely his strong suit. I figured that's what was going to be his strong suit. Baiting out people. I did not expect him to go straight for Midoriya though, and obviously he needed to in order to for what happened. But
yeah, it's one of those things where like it's like kind of clear the last fight really set the stage for like, okay, we've got our 2-star players here and they're playing back to back. Bakugo was such a crazy focus last time, so like everyone kept saying like, oh, it's because Bakugo did so good, everyone's gonna be staring at Deku now. But I really liked how he like played it to the point of where like you hear someone scream, he's like, was that your team? Maybe it was Shinso, you don't know. And then like Deku starts fighting, he's like, wow, you're not even looking in the direction of your team. And it's just like, that's some good shit. Where
how just, like, careless of you!
Even the most minor, yeah, like trying to just look for the most minor thing and then twisting it to be like, I guess you just don't care about people, huh? And it's like, man, he's good at that. The speech craft, very high on this guy.
Yeah, very good. He rolled high in charisma. All Unfortunately, Deku's bullshit anime powers just kind of threw that out the window for a bit. But yeah, I'm excited to see what happens next week. After what happened this week, I don't know if I can actually really make any predictions. Obviously, I think. Okay, do you think this fight's going, or this match is going to go 1 or 2 more episodes?
I think this match will probably only be 1 more episode.
And then we'll have a wrap up.
It'll wrap up in this episode.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we'll have episode 11 will probably wrap the match, and then episode 12 will be a little bit of bleed over into next quote unquote season, but when they switch the opening up.
Yeah, I have a feeling 11 will be the let's finish up this match, get that kind of cleared up. But then I have a feeling that episode will end cryptically with like All Might being like, Deku, we need to let's step aside. We got to talk about what just happened there, or something along those lines.
We need to really figure out what's going on, because the stakes are getting higher, and I'm excited for what's coming next in.
What other kind of powers do you think Deku could get? He's getting like the black whips, which my immediate thought when I saw it, like it's got the one for all power into it, so it's definitely supercharged. But it kind of gave me a Spider-Man vibe, where now he's got just a very easy way to kind of maneuver and whip around. So like, what other kind of iconic or classic or just really good utility powers do you think he might be getting?
Man, there are so many out there that could be very useful for his situation. Some ability to regenerate would obviously be great, considering all the shit he's put himself through.
Yeah, that would be a healing factor. Would be awesome if it just turned down. Oh, by the way, you got basically Wolverine in you.
Yeah. You can heal now from various injuries that you've given to yourself. I don't know. Like it'll be interesting just seeing this as it comes out, and making sure that they don't just make him like I don't know, because some powers could negate other powers and their usefulness. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that too. Like yeah,
because if he ends up learning how to fly as well, all of a sudden other traversal methods not really that useful. I think flight I might actually draw the line at flight a little.
Yeah, but I don't want him to gain just straight up flight. I could see maybe some sort of level of telekinetic throwing or something, maybe. But the actual just straight up flight, no, thank you.
If they're going to keep building him just very anime, his maybe he'll have the ability to create projectiles, Hadokens and shit like that. That seems like a possibility.
Your quirk
that's
is
a very
Kamehamehas. How fun!
Yeah, Goku is just one of the past inheritors or some shit.
Yeah.
I mean, he already has the ability to make projectiles with his poof, just blasting the air pressure.
He's basically got wind bullets.
He'll probably be able to charge it with some sort of energy, though, some sort of element. Like somebody's going to have some sort of power that will combine with other powers that he'll be able to mix and match. I can't imagine it'll be a specific elemental affinity, since there are so many in his class that already specialize in those particular fields. Although that might, if somehow
what I'm thinking is the intro of the show. He talks about how this is how I became the world's greatest hero. So my thought then becomes well, if he's going to get multiple powers, what would be the perfect combination of the just human saving machine? So there's got to be some sort of probably awareness power, being able to detect where people are to save them, kind of thing. And
like infrared
some
vision
sort of
or something.
Super duper speed. Yeah. Stuff to make him be able I'll be on the scene instantly. I'll be able to get there. That kind of stuff.
Yeah, he'll be able to see through. He'll be able to see through things. If he does end up with some sort of elemental attribute, it might actually give Kaminari some purpose if he has to teach Deku how to work with electricity or something.
Ooh. Yeah.
So
here I am. I'll be a battery to charge you.
Yeah, we'll figure this out together. You don't know how to deal with electricity the way I do. Something like that. But yeah, some method by which he can observe things better, like infrared vision or X-ray vision. Although, you know what, Deku's pure enough.
Yeah,
that X-ray
he'd be
vision.
the one who would use it, and he would blush if anyone even brought up the idea of using it in an untoward way.
Yeah, and I can see a scene where he accidentally does it and just, oh God, no, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I can't even cover my hand. I can't even cover my eyes. I'm sorry.
It doesn't work. Yeah, and then we cut over to Mineta being like, lucky bastard.
Hey, you son of a bitch. I wish I had that power. What do they look like?
One of his powers is just having explosive sweat like Bakugo, and he's just like, hey, Kacchan, I can do what you can do. And it just drives him insane.
And I have
Only mine's got the all-for-one boost, so it's always going to be better.
I can create atom bombs with my sweat. God damn. It also makes you wonder just how impossibly strong freaking Lemillion would have been with All for One at this point. How impossibly, like, you know, because Deku's going to be the #1 hero because he's the one that's going to complete it. But if Lemillion had gotten All for One, the show would be over.
Yeah. How would it have boosted Lemillion's power? Like, he can already phase through like anything. How do you supercharge that quirk?
Maybe he can also make other things phase with him. Like, you know, he can transfer that power into somebody or something he's touching, so he can make other things phase through as well. That's the only thing I can think.
He finally wouldn't have that clothing problem.
Mm-hmm. He could build his clothes out of anything, but he could also, you know, in that situation where he was there with Eddie, he could have dragged her out of the building and just, whoo, okay, she's safe. Now I'm back.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, being able to phase other things. Ooh, I like chat's phase through time suggestion.
Oh, man.
Pretty good.
That's one thing I was thinking about for Deku, is just like, what if he has the ability to slow or stop time? That's a little too OP, we're talking, but that's another really strong power that I was thinking about.
That would make you an amazing hero.
Mm-hmm. You would literally be able to... Oh, God. What if he's going to be able to, like, shadow clone himself? Literally be anywhere at any time.
All right, yeah, multiplication, yeah. So he's the greatest hero because he's literally the world police. He's just everywhere.
He's everywhere at all times, and nobody needs to worry about it. Just the ultimate Gary Stu.
And then we have a terrifying 1984 twist where now Deku he's put a shield around the world.
Yeah, all of a sudden he's the what was it? The Justice Lords. He controls everything. There is only one law.
This is how I became the greatest hero. By destroying threats before they appear.
But what do you guys in the comments think? Let us know what you thought of the episode. Let us know what sick powers you think Deku could get, without spoilers for anybody that's read ahead. I don't know how many more have already manifested themselves, but damn, I am excited to see where we are going. Solid episode. Very excited for next one.
Yeah, I'm super stoked for where it's going, and I'm ready to see I'm ready to see the wrap up of this exhibition match and sort of see where we go from here. I'm curious if they'll just like switch right into like, all right, training arc with Deku. Let's see if he can master this new power, or if it's going to be like, all right, now you know what Deku's going to be doing while we focus something else. So when he comes back and he has this crazy new power, he can just use it, and we'll give you an episode of like, here's all the stuff I had to go through to get this.
Hell yeah. Well, this has been the TFS My Hero review for episode 10, That Which Is Inherited. And we will catch you guys next week. Kaiser should be back, and I might be able to join as well, even though I'll be on vacation too. But we'll see next time on the My Hero review. Later, everybody.
Bye.